Welcome back, everybody. It's Eric and Barry here at Moss Pond. Got another firearms fact video for you. Today I want to elaborate briefly, hopefully, on the 7.62 by 54 rimmed. You could call this video a cartridge showcase. I always like to brag on this cartridge because it's just a wonderful cartridge that is surrounded with so much history. You know, it was adopted in 1891 along with the three-line Mosin rifle that were originally contracted under the French arsenal. I know I'm not going to say it right, Châtelet or Châtelet. I never say that word right, but that particular arsenal made some of the first Mosins, and the French were known for their early development of smokeless powder with the 8mm Lebel, and that was really the cartridge that kind of set the world afire in search of this new, you know, fabled smokeless powder round. The 7.62 by 54R has the honor of being the world's longest serving military cartridge to date. It's been in service since 1891 and is still in service to this day. Probably its most well-known exploit is World War II. It served the Russian army quite well throughout World War II in the form of the M9130, which many of you are familiar with. Wonderful rifle, bolt-action service rifle with many variants and a rich history. The cartridge itself is still in use today in the form of the Dragunov sniper rifle and other designated marksman style rifles. The belt-fed machine guns of today still use the 54R, and there are millions upon millions of rounds available of it surplus for that reason. Okay, the cartridge itself lends itself well to reloading, uses a 311 diameter projectile. Box of prime brass is readily available. There's a ton of different powders that can be used for the 54R. In terms of surplus ammunition that's out there, there's really no chance of it drying up in the foreseeable future just because it is still in use as a service cartridge. So the longevity of surplus ammo is excellent. The availability of surplus Mosin Nagant rifles is always going to be excellent just because there's so many of them out there. And the case capacity of a 54R for reloading is excellent. It has more case capacity than a 308. The bullet that you can use for reloading this cartridge is actually a lot better because the 9130s and most of your 54R guns are going to have a faster twist than a 308, so you can stabilize faster or heavier bullets. The nice thing about that is if you ever wanted to suppress one of these, it makes for a great suppressed rig because of the heavy bullet profiles you can use. All in all, it's a great cartridge. It's got a rich history, and there's no chance of it going anywhere. It's here to stay.
Absolutely.
Show us what you got there, Barry.
Well, this is a Vepr Dragunov type rifle that fires the 7.62 by 54. It has a single stack magazine, but this gun this gun up until recently, this was a sniper rifle of the Jihad.
Oh yes.
The Jihad uses these a lot, but they don't use Veprs, of course. This is Russian made, but there's a lot of people that made Dragunovs. One of the best ones was Chinese. It was called a Tiger Dragunov, and I could kick myself to this day for not buying one.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah, the Tigers are very high quality guns.
Great gun, but the Vepr is very high quality as well. This is a beautifully made weapon.
Yeah, and the Dragunovs were never really intended to be used as a sniper rifle. Their intention was as a basically, you know, nowadays we throw around the term designated marksman quite a bit,
right.
But they really, you know, made the original push for that concept because that's what the Dragunov rifle was intended for. It was intended to be a rifle that would be issued at platoon level, even squad level, so that riflemen could advance while men armed with these could stay back and pick off or pin down the soldiers in the front, and then their elements could move forward and then take out the enemy while they're pinned down.
Right.
So it was really, you know, used to that effect in their military doctrine in the Cold War, and even up until recently, and probably even till today, they use that type of doctrine. Another form of Dragunov variant that you can get are the Romanian Psls. They're also known here in this country as the Romac 3. They are a Romanian service designated marksman rifle that is based loosely on the Dragunov. Uses a modified FPK receiver, which is a machine gun receiver. It is stamped. Very lightweight, 10-round boxes, semi-automatic. They are reasonably accurate for what they are. So this video was meant to be a showcase of the 7.62 by 54R. It's a wonderful cartridge, and I'll say on record it is my favorite rifle cartridge, hands down. I love it. It's got a ton of history, and I'll tell you, for a rimmed cartridge,
Yeah.
and it's lasted this long, is really amazing
Right.
that it's been around as long as it has, and it shows no signs of slowing down.